Aight, yeah, aight, drop, aight. Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now.
Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto.
Two runners, and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the
Nothing
judges
changed in the ghetto.
stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now. All the
Nothing
bitches
changed in the ghetto.
two runners, and they got burners. Pull up to the trap now. All the judges.
Yeah, ain't nothing changed in the ghetto, but hopefully some things change in your life. Welcome, 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 welcome to Every Second with Cluren Williams every Thursday at 5:30 Central Time. You know what we do here. You know what we're about by now. This is our first season. I feel like we have something to build off of with me and my team. So thank you for everybody that has been supporting us up until this point. And we're going to need a lot more of that support to keep this thing going. We're going to need a lot more of that support. So today we got a full show for you guys again as usual, and we're gonna get this thing rolling right into the topics of the day. We got some different news from this week, man. We got one thing about Congress, and we got Biden, and we also have a new variant, a new type of COVID coming in right now. And Biden promises to fight this new virus with a science and speed, and no chaos or confusion should be relevant in the community, but it is. Of course, it is because we are already coming to conclusion that this is not going to stop. And if you are watching this show, I want you to know this: that this disease and this virus is going to keep evolving. It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming. So if you have been lucky enough to survive this COVID-19 epidemic, then don't feel as if it's over. People are still getting it with the vaccine. So we have a long way to go, and we still have to stay clean, and stay sanitized and stay safe. Please, people. We also are almost facing another government shutdown. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. House passes a bill to prevent a looming government shutdown just earlier today. Our prayers also want to go out to Michigan, Oxford High School shooting in Michigan. There were a lot of victims, and just like I said earlier this year, and majority of the actual episodes we wound up talking about school shootings and public school and how kids are going to public school snorting cocaine, getting pregnant, getting killed. They are not even having to worry about going to the streets. We thought if we could keep the kids in school, that we can keep them out the streets. Well, guess what, people? Public school have turned into a cesspool. Public school has turned into the new streets. Public school is where you lose your virginity. Public school is where you get into your first fight. Public school could be where you get your first body. Public school where you make your first couple dollars. Public school is a lot of places where you get your first taste of life. And the sad part is we don't have enough personnel, enough people that's being responsible for the children, because I truly believe the responsibility starts in the home. You can send your kids to public school, private school, whatever school, charter school that you can find or that you can afford. But if you don't do the things that you have to do in the household with the kids, which is strike some of these situations, which is strike some of the things that will keep them from being able to prosper in life, you have to address that at home. You have to address bullying. You have to address homosexuality. You have to address sex before early enough stages. And that's what I mean by homosexuality, people. So don't get this crazy. What I'm saying is these are conversations coming in with 12-year-old, 11-year-old boys and girls. So if a 12-year-old, 11-year-old boy and girl is talking about homosexuality, they really just talking about sexuality, not one side, but just sex. And they are not old enough or mature enough to understand this. But public school is a cesspool. So our prayers and our condolences go out to all the families and the victims involved in this mass shooting, another school shooting. And it was a school shooting before that. And I can keep going down the list this year, how many school shootings that we have. But I don't want to hold you all day about it. But I need you to wake up, people. Beware and protect your children. Your children are under attack. If you went to prison and you ain't dead today, now the devil going after your babies. If you was a dope fiend, cracked out on any type of drug, heroin, meth, anything, man, opiates. Guess what? If you ain't dead and the devil try to kill you, well, guess what he gonna do that? He gonna go for your kids. Your kids are under attack. This country is more older than it is young. The kids, again, I'm gonna say it, are under attack. We must mount together to protect these babies, man. I know I am. I've been held a hell of a hand trying to fight for my fatherism, just to be a father. I've been called everything up under the sun, except a man that has tried. And I know there's a lot of men out there that are trying. And so I just want you to know, man, to be careful and protect your babies. Our prayers go out to the victims that's involved. Please, please be careful and stay prayed up, people. It is on troubling hard times. I have two of my guests in the back right there. Y'all know who my guest is usually all the time, which is one of my co-hosts, one of my executive producers. That's Victor Vinziant. He has a guest with him that he brought on that is going to be able to teach us a lot of things about building brands. He is a brand building specialist and he operates in a multitude of ways. He is the representation of Black excellence, Black business of the week, the positive message we're going to allow him to give to us. Before we go any further, please, Ted, could you please bring on my co-host and my guests, and so we can invite them into the world and let the world know what's up and what we got for them on the table for the show today. So I want y'all to make sure y'all in here. What's up, Victor? What's up, Marvin? Ted, make sure you bring them in here. I want to talk to them. Uh, uh, uh. There you
What's
go.
going
All
on?
right, there
Hey,
they go.
What it do? What
All
it do?
right.
What it do?
What's up, Victor? How you doing today, brother? How
man,
you
I'm
doing,
outstanding.
King? You can do a small introduction, and then we want to get into the introduction of our guest.
Okay. Hey, so this is Marvin Sease Jr. He's a photographer. He's anything video, as far as I know how to ask him questions. This man is a great organizer. He puts people together. He's the plug to put everybody in the right room at the same time. And I can only talk about my personal experience with him. He helped me put together part of one of my first book tours in Atlanta too. So I can't talk highly enough about him, so I'm gonna let him speak for himself, man. Go ahead on Marvin Cease.
Hey, how y'all doing, people? Again, Marvin Sease. Cease the Moment Photography is one of my primary businesses. I launched Cease the Moment Media last year. Like Cluren intimated, I assist in brand building. Obviously one of the biggest elements of any brand is the appearance of said brand. You have to actually show, and you have to, you have to put it across a proper way. And that's one of the things that I actually assist in doing. Um, Outside of the actual thing, I like to say that, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of some as well. So I pretty much started in my photography life, assisting in weddings, portrait photography, family, boudoir. I know, you probably seen some of my work out there as well. But I ventured into media, and getting into media, I've actually opened the doors for a good bit of people, and I've actually seen a good bit of things. But I've realized just how important branding is to a business, and obviously to Black businesses, because I've seen a lot, and we don't necessarily take advantage or recognize just how important that is. The visual components of your brand is one of the most important things, because
Yeah,
if it's not something that that is appealing to our eyes, we generally push it to the side.
yeah,
And
you're right.
I've recognized that. I recognized that a long time ago, but I've finally found a niche, so to speak, to where I can fit in, and that's a
Yeah,
bit of what I do.
yeah, and you know what? I peeped that too when I started building my brand. It wasn't until I did my first actual visual where my music was like, kind of like went over the top. It was like Damn, one music video had me like that. So I'm like sitting at 10,000 views in one day, and I'm running around selling $2 mixtapes, you know what I'm saying? Because I can press them for dirt cheap. So I'm just like, hey, man, just, basically instead of me just giving away my music, I had to make something, right? And then as soon as I drop a visual to one of my songs that I didn't care nothing for, boom.
Boom.
It's the least song I care for, the least song I prepared for, the least song I put money into. All I did was do a visual to kind of promote my brand, and my brand skyrocketed. So I understand that, man. I felt
Yeah.
that. I've been through that. And again, like I say, brother, you represent Black excellence, and what you doing and everything you doing, all the stuff that you got in it, right? I need to I want to ask you a couple of questions. Outside of the business and everything that you're doing, what is your word of the day that you take with you every day? It could be one word, it could be a slogan, it could be a phrase, it could be some philosophy, but what is something that you use every day to keep you rooted and grounded and focus on the mission?
That's a loaded question, but I'm gonna tell you the very first thing that pops up in my head is persistence. Persistence and entrepreneurship in general is not the easiest thing in the world to actually to just be content with. You have to see things. You have to see the wins. You're gonna go through losses, but after being with the company that I was with for 22 years and not working with them, as of July 24th of a year ago, and still at it, still paying my bills, still, excelling in what I do in my business, photography, media, branding, all of that. You have to be persistent. You cannot give up. I can't put that lightly. There is absolutely no way to, because obviously if you stop moving, that's really the only way that you're going to stop. You
Already,
know that
already.
that that's really it.
Yeah, and I respect that. I'm down with that. I take that with me also. Being consistent and persistent. Always accepting the fact that the word's going to tell me no 1,000 times, but I'm looking for the one yes. I'm okay with the no's, but I'm really looking for the one yes. So my expectation about this way to go about it, once it changed, the going about it changed. The space, the energy, people that I would run into, knowing that I was expecting to know but my energy was like, you could say no, that don't mean I'm going to accept it. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say get out in front of my store. You can say you're not supposed to be here and make up this old fake law that says I can't make money out here when I know I got a law protecting me, knowing I can make some money, and try to run me off, or
Absolutely.
just say, or any type of thing. You can just say, man, it's not worth it. And I've had people tell me, man, I know you got a book, but you should cut the price in half. Nobody want to spend $20 on a book. And I said, let me tell you something, man. Old man, young man, wise man, whoever he is, it costs a little bit for education. Yeah, it costs a little $50, but it'll cost you your life for ignorance. Now, I'd rather pay a couple of dollars for education than pay with my life for ignorance. You see what I'm saying? And so I wasn't tripping about the fact that he thinks that this is a strategy to bring in a bigger market by selling it cheap. Hell, Versace, Gucci, don't nobody else get they shit and say, they using fake material, cheap material. Kanye done exposed out all of them, damn near all of them, and say, hey man, y'all using the most cheapest ass material and selling this for the top dollar. Like y'all got some real genuine leather, and my niggas is dying over this shit in the streets. And you mean to tell me that this damn belt ain't even real? Yeah, man, it ain't real. And so when I see things like that, it just lets me know that we gotta put work on our shit, bro. You're not gonna tell me my shit worth nothing anyway, because you ain't sat down in solitary confinement for 5 years and watching your family die, but still completing your literature. See, you wasn't faced with the tough task of having to complete something because you all right with not completing shit. You're okay with not completing nothing in your life. But there is a place of manhood that we young men all will enter soon if you haven't already got there. And that place, where when you get to that place, the excuses out the door, baby. You gotta take accountability and hold yourself accountable for your actions. That's what I be on. So
Facts.
But you represent Black excellence, brother. And so, what are some of the categories? I know you said you did animation, photography. I want you to go through that list a little bit. But what is jugging at you the most? Where your heart at out of all these talents that you have that you made not just a craft but a business?
Well, the biggest thing that I'd say, photography has me the most. It kind of, I love the look on my clients' faces when they actually get to see the images that I'm actually put together. Um, like I said, I've been doing photography since, well, obviously since I was a kid, but as far as professionally for the last 10 years or so, and hardly nothing in my life that really I could say that replaces the look and the feeling and the emotion that comes across from a client's face when they see the images. I don't know about you guys, but in my family's lives, I can look at, I have pictures when I was a little baby. Then all of a sudden, I'm 5 years old. Then all of a sudden, I'm a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And I have some clients that, take the time out and they literally make sure that they get the actual imagery done every year because, time is moving. I don't know. I guess it's just, my old age, but time seems to be moving real fast these days. I promise. My daughter is like going on 16 years old. And I still remember when she was just 5 pounds, 1 ounce. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
photography
yeah.
above anything else. Photography has really captured my heart. That is where my soul is, and my ability to implement media in that, to the ability to not just the regular old, back in the day, the PowerPoint slideshow where you have an image and then it just moves to another image and then it just moves to another image. That's back in the day. We don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I've developed and I've realized ways to take that passion and display it to my clients in a certain way that I can kind of blend both passions in my life a better way. And but it's still rooted in photography. It's still rooted in making sure that my clients are displayed in the best ways possible. And that is absolutely where my passion continues to remain rooted in. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Already. So, outside of the photography, what are some of the what is like the next part of your business? Is like the animation. I'm digging that, man. Like, so you're doing all these things. Have you worked with any authors? For instance, me and Victor, we're both authors, seasoned authors. Have you worked with any authors or got any calls about maybe turning some of our fantasies into animation?
Well, you know what? It's what's interesting is, and let me try to let me break it down. When I speak of animations, I'm not talking about like The Simpsons or anything of that nature, right? So if you watch some commercials that uh let's say it's a lawyer, a law firm, and they will show the commercial with and they say that I just got this client $80 million for falling down a set of stairs. At the end of that commercial or before the commercial, their logo is displayed, but that logo itself isn't usually just a logo. It is something that is done with that logo to then show it to you. Just like I told you earlier, the branding, the element, we're all visual creatures. We don't want to just see Cluren Williams. We want to see Cluren Williams. You see what I'm saying? We want to see it in a certain
Yeah.
way. We want to present it. And so I've studied and I learned and I figured out a way to animate logos. I've come to realize that it is really how things are presented. The presentation is everything, and especially when it comes to businesses. And when I won't say I learned it by accident, but I didn't realize that this is as important as it actually is. Last year during the pandemic, it became apparent to me at one point my media actually was a larger source of income for me than my photography was, because obviously we had so many people starting new businesses. You start new businesses, you need your logo. You need your logo presented a certain way. You need your products displayed a certain way. You don't want to just, show pictures of your products in that same. You want to do something different. You want to appear to your potential clients a special way,
We've
and
been
that's
talking a lot.
what it is. Oh
Me
yeah,
and Victor been talking a lot about that too. Making sure that we present our brand to the world
it is
a right
important.
way. With me, I had to rebrand myself actually. So, what are some self-help tips, or maybe how to get started? Let's say I'm just starting my brand, right? And I came up with a nice design. I got my logo ready, right? What are some things? What are some steps that I can take, right, to get people interested in my brand? What are something that you think that you see? What comes to mind? Because you're a photographer, so we talking about portfolios. What do I need to start if I'm starting out the ground? What give me some
What
tips?
if you're starting off the ground running? I think that obviously having a clear, concise vision of what you're wanting to evoke to the client. I'll give you an example. I had a client reach out to me recently, a realtor, and I asked them, okay, well, what exactly are you wanting your clients to see when they see your logo? He needs she needs a new logo. She wants a new new logo animation. She wanted she wanted me to capture her outside of houses and things like that. Obviously, I can't take pictures of her or videos of her outside of a club. I have to do something that is specific to what she's wanting the clients to actually see.
Mhm.
My advice to you is to be specific. You have to analyze. You have to identify what your target client is.
Mhm.
When you realize what the target client is, you grasp that, because
Mhm.
what in my experience, a lot of people just go off of what they like. I like the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm not going to just make a logo that has a star on it. Like, what's that? That doesn't help me, you know. And you have to do things that actually garner the attention of the client that you're trying to reach. Um,
Yeah.
and use what you have. Your website. I tell people again, the animations that I create, most of my clients, they utilize that animation on their websites. They want, we're in a different society from back in the day. We want something to grab the attention of a client immediately. We don't want to have them to dig and dig to get the attention. We want something to say, oh, this is different.
Mhm.
I could easily put I can write in text, cease the moment photography. But if I show something that is going to reach out to the audience and grab them, I get their attention. It may not be just for 15 seconds or 10 seconds, but it's different than zero point 0.2 seconds.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
the analytics are very important, and those of us with websites who check those things, we see the analytics compared, to a regular header that is just text compared to a header that has video on it. There's a big
Okay.
difference.
Well, tell you right now, brothers, you're gonna get a lot of work from me and Victor. We got a lot of work for you lined up. We need all that type of support. Victor, he come from jumping out of planes and lifting up thousands of pounds, and now he's trying to talk to little people like little kids. And so
Oh yeah.
he's very intimidating already. He got big shoulders, and stuff. And so I need your help, what I'm saying, with Victor. You know what I'm
I'm with
saying?
it.
Help him make
I'm
it
with it.
show. Yeah, because he got this real, G.I. Joe look a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? And so I asked him myself, I was like, Victor, do you know jiu-jitsu? Because sometimes I be joking, I don't want you to get mad and grab me and put me in the figure four or the pretzel, you know what I'm saying? Have me all bent up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's how we men. You know what I'm saying? At
All
some
right.
point, men gotta get used to horseplay, but not the booty game. right? I don't play the booty game because a lot of men see that's another conversation. Because I seen Turk, I seen Turk come out and he called himself talking about all men play booty game, play gay game, and I'm looking at this nigga like, what the nigga? How you gonna come out here on and you know what I'm saying? You already got clout. You was one of the original hot boys. Now you done came out here and told the world that all men play gay game, play booty games with each other. I want to stop. I'm like, this nigga here, boy, y'all niggas just don't know how to be quiet. Sometimes you don't say everything. You just don't say everything. You feel me? I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You just don't say stuff because now you got everybody thinking that we all play booty games, man. We don't all play booty games, partner. I'm sorry.
And that ain't your business.
Games. And then at the same time is a lot of times people take men being affectionate to one another as gay games. Why? Because it's hard for two men to hug each other and one of them kiss you on the cheek. Soon as he do it, he say, man, what you doing, man? Don't get doing all that, bro. We ain't doing that today. No, man, I love you. Ain't no kiss me on the cheek, bro. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? So when you got that, that's a part of our culture. You get what I'm saying? Why you think it used to be offensive when rappers would say, hey, man, suck my D-I-C-K. Hey, man, go eat a D-I-C-K. When somebody referred to you in that manner, it was supposed to be the ultimate disrespect. But now, you know, you can say, hey, man, suck my D-I-C-K. Motherfucker gonna say win. Yeah. What you talking about? Okay, I'll win then. You know? So it's not, so you got to be ready if you're gonna throw and catch. You got to be ready if you're gonna throw.
We at different times. We at different times.
We at different times. And speaking on different times, I ain't even got to run until I see you got your Cowboy shirt on. You know we're going to the Super Bowl.
We know this. We know this.
So I ain't got to say nothing about that.
Who y'all play?
But
I don't even care. It don't even matter.
We don't know who we're gonna play yet. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Whoever win our New England Patriots and Buffalo Bills, that's probably who we're gonna play. So, but at the same time, is Alabama had a hard time getting past Burn this week. They almost like they got dealt with.
Almost like they got dealt with.
Hey, like they got dealt with. Hey. Say, you know, I've been waiting for them Alabama fall, right? I'll be over there looking like, did they get him? Did they get him? Yeah. I want them. I'm a hater. Yeah.
You a Pacquiao fan then. Yeah. That's what that is. You got that Pacquiao syndrome. y'all ain't like Mayweather. You just gonna watch to see if he gonna lose. That's it.
Just want to see if he gonna lose. Yeah. But we had some good stuff going on in college sports, man, this past week. I loved it. Man. Me and Victor set up and watched the Auburn-Alabama game. It was a great game. One of the best games this year, hands down. Yep. Hands down, man. Yeah. 4 overtimes, right? 4 overtimes, man. It was great. Yep. They will be going against Georgia, though, for the SEC championship this week. So, you know, that's when it's really going to be square business. This month right now is playoff month for a lot of teams. And it's the end of the year, right? Yeah. It's the end of the year. This year done went by fast. I can't wait for us to get with you. Marvin, we want you to put us together a whole year tribute, right? We want us a good year tribute. So I got a lot of stuff I want to send you, and I want you to make me something nice, man, because it's been amazing, but it's been hard. It's been a lot of death, a lot of pain. And I'm one of the people that like to have a good time to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly and see my life in a field view, to see life as it is right now, maybe, right? For me right now. Maybe not the whole life, but just maybe right now. And I encourage a lot of y'all these next few weeks, find some time to heal. I don't know what you do, Marvin, to heal, but I'm real about healing and building a way to heal and be healthy. Is there anything that you do in particular that you like to kick out to our audience about healing and self-love, man?
You know what? It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that. And, you know, Victor kind of intimated a little bit about this earlier. And he said that, you know, I'm a good, you know, bringing together of people. And I take pride of that. I take pride in that. It took me a while to get to that point, but I kind of accepted it, you know, where I am. And something as simple as putting together a secret Santa list. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm telling you, like, this is just an example. I have a group that obviously, the Secret Santa thing is you want everyone to pick off items of your gift list that you want other people to buy for you. I have the weirdest, hardest time to get people to identify things that they want to receive from others. And to me, it's kind of very typical of us in our society because we're so used to doing things for others to where we don't know how to receive from anyone else. We're so give, give, give. And at some point, you have to look at yourself. Selflessness is important, is obviously important, but if you don't leave enough space for yourself, if you don't leave enough space to take care of yourself and to have some self-care, what do you have to give? And that balance has to be attained. We have to find things. It just cannot be about whether or not you have kids and you give 100% to your kids or you give 99% to your kids. What do you have for yourself? I fly drones. I have hobbies. I know people who don't have hobbies at all. They only know what the definition is.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that, I'm telling you, it is so important. And
Man, look.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing, man. I do a lot of talking about it, but I have a few techniques that I like to do, and mine can be something as simple as just going to see a different land, maybe a different scenery, something that I'm not familiar with, natural spaces, parks, stuff like that. Just stuff like that. Sometimes can be just that simple. Going out for a run, huh, Victor? In the morning and stuff, man. So just self-love in particular and helping and building on self is important. I told Victor today, man, that I'm one of those people that if I see that you don't love yourself, you can't, nothing you can tell me, nothing you can do, right? No way you can please me that's going to make me believe that you really love me.
Yeah.
Reason being is because love is an action word. It is not something you can just throw out there and somebody should just accept just because you said it. It is something that you should be able to physically see, touch, smell. And what I mean by that is if you're taking care of yourself and you loving yourself, then I have to believe that you can love me. That you can. Do you is another thing, but you can. Now you have the ability to love because a lot of people always, if you listen to them, they tell on themselves. You can read 100 memes right now on Facebook and you can tell every last one of them people don't know them love themselves. Oh, when I'm gonna find love, when I'm gonna find my part. Oh, when this gonna happen for me finally. Let me tell you something, woman. Let me tell you something, brother. If you really truly love yourself, I guarantee you the energy that you put into you, you will dish out, and that energy will come back to you in return. Do not be naive. 85% of the time when you meet people, they will be in it for a selfish gain. Me and my brother Victor talked earlier about how when we leave the house and we doing business, it's not always bringing back dollars. We're not, every person we meet, we're not trying to get 10 or 20 or 30 or a dollar or 50 cents off of. Sometimes, and most of the time in our line of work, it's about building genuine relationships where nobody really even like I deal with rappers and when they have no shows, when they not even booked, when they not even doing music. Like I'm dealing with Boston, George, and G's, and we just going chilling. Like when you get a chance to do that and you get to see motherfuckers before the money, because these spaces are very small. If you jump in the rap game, you think you're not gonna be next to such and such. Man, you're gonna be next to such and such all the time when you working in this field. Especially when you're the type of person like my guest just said here, Marvin. Hey man, you got to be willing to do a little bit of brand building and sitting down and focusing on that stuff, man, and taking pride in that. So we're gonna be working with him a lot. If you need to reach out to him or get his information, it's on the screen here. But man, support my boy. do business with them. Let them do business with you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna move forward into building the some time to put in to buy the block back. Our UPC Urban Power Connection segment, hosted to you by Mr. Victor Vinziant. Victor, you can go ahead and take it away from me, brother.
Hey man, so I'm gonna like a quick jump in right here when it comes down to it, because Marvin has stolen the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he had a chance to, finally sit up and talk about what he got going on. I just want to say I'm proud of him. He's helped me a whole lot, give me a different perspective on things and organize it with social media, and I learned a lot from him. I just want to get that man his roses while we're here. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to like the real estate piece, we're still kind of like in the last quarter of the year. Like people are sitting wherever they're gonna sit at, and not very many transactions happening. We are working on in our community developing duplexes going into 2022. We're gonna have close to 24 doors, and we have 9 right now. So that's just on one side of it. Then we got another chance at some short-term rental plays. And the community is growing, man. Like it's a lot of real estate investors that are networking with each other more. It's not a whole lot of competing going on. So right now it's a great networking atmosphere. And now's the time to jump in and ask how you can learn about real estate. How do you get started? And one of the things you could do is you can contact us on Facebook and find our Urban Power Connections page on Facebook, and get in contact with us there by simply messaging us.
Already. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Victor, do you got anything on your mind you want to present to the people, man? How you been feeling, man? We almost down to the last quarter, baby. This the fourth quarter. That's why I like to call it fourth quarter mind frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's 29 days left in the year, man. It's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? Like when you could dwindle it down to that, some people probably count it down. It's probably 2 more paychecks this month for some people.
Yeah.
However you wanna line it up. But
Yeah.
like in the spirit of fourth quarter, I'm gonna talk about some Alabama football because you don't never let me talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's too late now. It's too late now. You done fucked around and fucked around. You know what I'm saying? So, so first of all, this is the SEC championship game. How you not gonna talk about the SEC championship game while I'm right here is so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Because you really just don't want to hear my mouth. See how patient I was, just so I could just ease in there. You know what I'm saying? And just go ahead and pop up my flag. But hey, man, look, my boy is going to go play at the Mercedes-Benz Dome, the one that's in Atlanta that Georgia never wins in. And in the last 3 meetings, they 0 for 3. I don't have a reason to go against the trend. I don't care how bad Alabama may look in terms of like previous teams, but understand that you can only compare this team against the last team, against the last team, against the last team. So even if this is not the best Alabama team, you know what I'm saying? It's still better than a whole lot of other teams that's already had talent. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And they still a school to beat. They still a school to beat.
Nobody.
Shout out. One quick shout out, man, to my high school alma mater, LBJ High School in Austin, Texas. They will be competing. And I think this is the semifinals out here at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio this Saturday. We also want to send our support and our love and our condolences to the head coach, Jamal Finner, a good friend of mine who grew up. He has just lost a son this week. So we want to send our prayers and our love and our support out to you, brother. I know this ain't all about football, but I know that a lot of what's going on right now is all God's plan. So if you get this message from me and my family to you, brother, this is God's plan, and we love you, and we thank you for doing what you're doing with the youth and fighting for our babies, man. Shout out to LBJ High School, a tremendous story, a story for the ages. I'm proud to say I am an ex-Jaguar, but a Jaguar at heart forever. So shout out LBJ High School, the entire coaching staff, and our Coach Finner, man. We love you. I appreciate you, Marvin. Again, man, I don't want to just have you sitting up in here not saying nothing. But I appreciate you coming on, dropping these jewels. We would like to ask you to come on more frequently. We'd love to have you on as much as available time you can give us. and build our brand, man. And don't forget, when we get off here, everybody share this, man. Share this, man. Tell your friends, tell your, clients, tell everybody, hey, man, that we have a brand building tool right here with Hello Hooray, Mojo Riding, and the production with Ted back there. So we gonna get ready to do my last closing thoughts and what I want to say. Again, Victor, thank you, brother, for being here with me. Before I get ready to go, of course, I always leave you guys with my thoughts and my message to you. Today's message and closure today is for you guys to protect yourself. I want to say that because at this time of the year is going to be very hard. All the resources people have had this year, from unemployment, stimulus checks, maybe even some type of form of government assistance, are all been drained. If your resources been your uncle, your aunts, your grandmothers, your mothers, your fathers, your friends, relatives, or any other resource that you've used in the last 2 years, they're probably already drained. And so there is a high expectation of violence. There are going to be people who have been basically riding the wave of getting free money and haven't established any way of current occupation of jobs right now. And then there's a surge in jobs available, but people are still not landing the jobs that they need. The gas is high. There's an entire process going on with surviving. Protect yourself. Why? Because it's dangerous out here. You're living in the kids in the era of those demon-eyed men who was ahead of me. All those rapers, all those snitches, all those murderers, all those backstabbing Judases that was before me. They the kids is here now. They the ones doing all this dirt. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your children. Be safe from COVID. Be safe from somebody robbing you and killing you. Be safe from road rage. Be safe from cancer. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Take life serious. Okay? This is the time. That's my message to you. I want y'all to stay woke. I want y'all to stay dangerous. And I love y'all and I thank y'all. And I see y'all next Thursday. Protect yourself, people. Protect yourself. 100. We out of here.
Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team. Know that I'll die for my team. To the top, I'ma rise with my team. Rise with my team. Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team. Know that I'll die for my team. To the top, I'ma rise with my team. Rise with my team.